Welcome to the League of Melanated Gentlemen podcast. My name is Spencer, and I'm one of your hosts on this podcast. And it is with great joy that I allow to introduce themselves the other members of the League of Melanated Gentlemen. And today, it's a good one. Today, we're bringing back the court.
Yes, sir. This is Darth Worldwide, Brandon.
Whoa, when did you get that name?
I took it from David. David, if you want to smoke, holler at me.
That's wild. This is Jordan. This is Jordan, by the way. That's wild.
These GVG episodes get Brandon hyped up.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we get into court, we must first talk about the ways that you can communicate with us, the ways that you can reach us. And Jordan's going to tell you all about it.
Yeah, people, we are on social media. This is the age of 2024, and everyone is on the internet. And so are we. We are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on YouTube, and we are all at the League of Melanated Gentlemen podcast. So be sure and stop by there and get us a like, follow, subscribe, comment, all of the good stuff. And then also don't forget to rate and review us on whatever streaming service you use, whether it is Spotify or Apple. I just saw Google Podcasts is going away, so don't go head over there and give us a review. Just stick to Apple and Spotify. That'd be the best option. So yeah, that is it. And then also scheduling updates. Of course, we drop episodes on Monday. That is when our regular episodes come out on our regular feed. And then on Wednesdays, we have Wrestling with Worldwide Willis. That is Brandon's review podcast. And some big news recently came out with the Rock. I saw that. That was kind of everywhere.
Yes, sir.
And Brandon definitely talked about that in his latest episode. So if you want to check that out, head on over there and give that a listen. And then this week we have DC animation with Spenser and Friends. Spencer, what is on the movie? I mean, what is on the docket that they should be watching this week?
We will be reviewing Batman Bad Blood.
There you go. Batman Bad Blood. That is go watch that. And when it comes out, listen to the review. And that is everything.
Okay. So today we have brought back Gentleman versus Gentleman. Today we have Brandon versus Jordan. Now, I know it's going to come up, so I will go ahead and bring it up. The first time there was a gentleman versus gentleman with Brandon versus Jordan, it did not go well for one of the gentlemen.
Oh, whoa. Hang on. Before we start, I forgot to mention, and last episode we forgot to mention, we just hit episode 100. This is episode 101.
Yeah. Oh, hey!
Shout out to us, man.
Yeah, and that's wild.
And shout out to you for listening.
Yeah, shout out to you.
Yeah, that is
y'all make this possible.
That's impressive. Like you guys stuck with us for. I mean, technically we're way over 100. If you want to think about it, we got some gentlemen brieflies in there, but we want to talk about this main feed. This is episode 100. This is year 3 for us. Like,
hold on.
Yeah, like a lot of people, a lot of other podcasts, they can't get past 5, 20.
Yeah, it's facts. It's facts. Consistency, man.
So
we have been with you every single week.
Every week. Growing. Skips. Like, yeah, we growing. This is impressive. And I'm excited about what the next 100 episodes what we have to offer to people. So anyway, let me get back to the lies that was being spilled towards me and towards my direction about being whooped in the last Gentleman versus Gentleman. That was the old me.
That's like, you can call them lies, but the people can go back. Like, the internet is the permanent record.
Yeah, it got ugly real quick for you.
That was the old me, though. Like, I came in not prepared. This time, I'm prepared.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's 2024. So,
yeah.
Let's see what happens. Today will be an interesting one. Brandon will be arguing for Star Wars. And Jordan will be arguing for Naruto. We will have
Hey.
we will have five separate categories. I will be the judge, and I will, do my best to hold order in the court. If you have listened to a gentleman versus gentleman where I have judged, I am a judge without bias, and
You're fair.
I am a judge that does not assist even when I want to.
Well, I feel like those are these shots. These strays just keep coming at me. This is crazy. That
I'm
is
simply
crazy.
pointing out the facts. Like that's all that like again, it's the permanent record. People can go and experience it for themselves.
All I know is I
Thanks.
saw one dude jump over and get the judge. So I mean, if I got to follow his steps, I'm more than willing to.
Okay. Um,
He
Spencer,
said,
like I
"Cross
got
this
these
line if you want
hands.
to."
I
Yeah,
was gonna say,
yeah. His hands
okay.
ready to eat for everyone, huh?
I mean, yeah. Let's see what happens because you might do well this time. Who knows?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so there was a coin flip before the episode to determine what would happen as far as who will argue first, and Brandon won the coin flip. And so, Brandon, you get to choose who will open first.
Are
Mm.
we? How are we? Are you? Do you have the categories like the
Yes,
order of the category? Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
we will discuss the categories once we have an order. So, Brandon, would you
Uh,
like to argue first? Would you like Jordan to argue first?
since this is gentleman versus gentleman, I will be a gentleman. Jordan, you got the first crack at it, buddy.
Oh,
Okay,
you don't want to
so
take it? I thought you were age before beauty, right? You older than me, right?
Bruh. I'm gonna let you do whatever you're doing, and then I'm gonna come in and clean up.
Okay.
okay. So, there will be five categories, and there will be a winner declared for each category. We will declare winners at the end. The categories are one main character. So, both parties will be arguing for why their main character is better. One side character, same thing. One villain, same thing. Story. So, just the story of um, Star Wars, the story of Naruto, and the world. So all of the things that exist in the world, what's happening, all of that. So um, take that to mean what you will. We are just going to see what happens. Again, I will do my best not to be biased. I do pretty well. But you will have 2 minutes for opening arguments, and then there will be rebuttals, and then we will just keep it going. So,
Wait,
2 minutes.
Spencer.
I can go that long.
yes.
Oh, what's up?
Okay. Okay. When we talk about main characters,
Hmm.
they're
Character.
a
You
character,
you get
but what I'm
one.
saying,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, but there's some franchises when the franchise is really good, right? There's sometimes more than one main character, right? So
Yeah, so
there's like,
you get to decide which main character you're going to
okay,
go with.
gotcha. I just didn't want any confusion there. Got it.
Yeah. So
I don't know how that would have been confusing. You pick one
yeah,
main character.
there
I'm
there
saying
are
like,
there are options. So
yeah, not everybody's there's side characters and
Pick
there's
one.
main characters.
I
Just
think
Right?
pick
that
one.
Brendan's question was, is there one definitive main character, or can he pick a main character from different points in the franchise?
Thanks. Thank you for
I would
understanding,
say
Judge. Appreciate
just
it.
pick your main character. How about that? You pick your main character.
Just
We're
like
good. We're
there
here,
are
Judge.
multiple villains to
Yeah.
pick, and so yeah, you get to decide. And again, you are arguing for why yours is the best option. So, Jordan, we're going to begin with main character. You have the floor.
Uh, dude, are you telling me to start or okay?
Yes.
All right. So, of course, I mean, the name of the show is Naruto. Of course, I'm going to go with the main star of the show. But to me, there are three great points to Naruto, the character. First, his emotional attachment. So he's a character he literally should have been a prince in his town, but because of some ill-guided older people in his life, he ended up in the slums, and his story is him overcoming all the struggles in his life. That is a huge emotional. That is a huge piece to who the character of Naruto is. Another major key to Naruto. He's pretty funny. Like for the most part, because he has such a sad backstory, like often in shonen, they have to figure out a way to make the character likable and a lot more relatable. And he's very funny. So I mean, there's that. And then also the impact that he has on the story. I mean, he is the main character, and like I said, from his upbringings to being an orphan to becoming a Hokage of the entire village, that's big impact. The impact he had on the war, the impact he had on the other characters around the surrounding villages that's around, because Konoha, is that the name of the village? I believe so.
Yes.
Um, he just has a major impact on the story, and for me, like that is he's only really one of the main characters, but he is the definitive main character. um yeah, I'm gonna end it there because we can go in deeper, but I'm gonna end it there. I end it a little early, but sometimes it don't always last 2 minutes, and that's fine.
You heard that before.
Alrighty. Alrighty.
Mm.
Brandon, any rebuttals?
uh, I think it spoke for itself. Naruto. I don't necessarily. I think it's the name is cool, but and I see the picture of him every now and again, but I just don't. I've heard other animes that are a little more in the culture. Naruto's it was popular, but I feel like
Stop it.
there's others that's more in the
Stop it.
culture.
This
You know what I mean?
you're this is it hurt my ears hearing you drag through this talking about it's
I'm just
like
saying it's not.
you
He's
just
not
said like it's
Goku.
a little
He's
show.
not Gohan. He's not. You know what I'm saying? He's not. He's just
Okay.
not that level.
Okay, that's funny hearing a non-anime person say that, but that's interesting
Exactly.
because
I'm the best. Knowledge. Like I'm not in the world, so I can give you a macro view of it. I'm just saying he's not there.
I can tell you a lot of these new anime that's out now take a lot of inspiration from the show itself and from the characteristics of Naruto. He has an inner beast inside of him, and there's shows out now who copy that same recipe. He's a conflicted character. He wants to do the right thing all the time, but he's in a world filled where, you know, badness is going around him.
Okay. Brandon, you have the floor.
All right. With the Star Wars universe, I have so many different options. I could be basic, pick Luke, right? I could just be basic. But I'm gonna pick. You know me. I'm a man of honor. I love a character. Captain America is my favorite character. Person who's a man of honor, and I have to go with Obi-Wan. He's the best Jedi there ever was, and the fact that he's a man. His story is about sacrifice, right? His story is about he was under Qui-Gon, right? The spiritual leader, the guy who doesn't really care about rules. Obi-Wan was about rules. He was very black and white. He was very whatever the council said, he was doing it. It was bylaws and all that stuff. But then he figured out with Qui-Gon getting murdered and the things he taught him, he's like, oh, okay, being a Jedi is sort of there's an artistic side to it, not just being a police officer, basically. There's an artistic side with the Force and the relationship with the Force. And so the beautiful thing about Obi-Wan is, first of all, he kills Darth Maul twice. Right? My boy Obi-Wan put in work, right? Defeated Anakin, right? Um, and beat Darth Maul at both young age and old age. He then, at his peak, he was LeBron James level Jedi. At his peak, he goes, you know what? I'm going to retire. I'm going to go take care of the future in Luke, right? Sacrifices himself, stays on that planet, babysitting this child coming up, making sure he's fine. Then when he comes of age, leads him towards what he needs to do in his destiny, right? He sacrifices himself, getting killed by Darth Vader. And yeah, Obi-Wan is the best main character because he's the best Jedi. He was the man of honor. And most people can relate to a man like Obi-Wan. You know what I mean? He ain't the chosen one, but he's the one who helped the chosen one get there. And those are more regular people, right? We can relate to that type of person. So Obi-Wan to me is the best main character. Again, Star Wars has so many, but Obi-Wan is that guy.
Jordan, rebuttals?
Yeah, so I mean, I would definitely say Obi-Wan is what we call a bitch because he is in his feelings He literally let the entire galaxy, a lot of the galaxy die because he could not kill Anakin. He, twice, twice.
Okay.
Like my
I mean, I see your point, but again, that was his Padawan, right?
his he got two emoting.
I mean, that was his Padawan. I mean, I don't know what you.
So in my opinion, Obi-Wan, he is too much in his feelings. Like he literally let the entire galaxy, not the entire galaxy, but a lot of the galaxy died becoming enslaved because he couldn't kill Anakin twice. Like not once, but twice, because he just really thought that Anakin was a chosen one. Not only that, he's a bad character. He didn't even, first of all, he didn't even like Anakin. He didn't even want Anakin around at all. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he wanted him. He thought he was the chosen one. Like,
I
no, just
mean,
he's the cause of Order 66, basically. He
that's
look how much blood
false.
is on his hands. So wait, so by him not killing Darth Vader, right? Didn't Darth Vader call Order 66?
No, Palpatine did, but yes, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So by him doing that, that he just took off a generation of young Padawans, you know, single
Uh,
handedly, all basically.
my thing is, people say that, and it's easy to say, but if you've never been in a leadership position, you know, like, oh, okay, that's my Padawan. If I murder him off an assumption,
He didn't even want him.
he didn't want him at first because he was young. He wasn't ready. He was Qui-Gon was his master. He was cool. He was like, all right, bet, all right, cool. I'm learning under Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon gets murdered, and then now I got to be a master. Oh, by the way, I got to be a master of this hot shot who thinks he knows everything. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little like, hey, relax, chill out. You ain't been in my position yet. Relax. And so yeah, I mean, and he was a rule breaker. Like he was basically from day one, he was doing everything you're not supposed to do as a Jedi. And he was known to be the chosen one. Like, come on now. Like to have
Okay.
to babysit the chosen one, that's the hardest job there is, probably.
So he would you say that Obi-Wan saw the some of the darkness inside Anakin? Would you say that's fair?
That's yeah, small little
Okay. Well,
glimpses.
that's all. Yes, this yes or no question.
I'm just saying,
Yes or no?
if you can say that about literally anybody. If somebody has a bad day, you be like, oh, you're a Sith.
Let me continue it. Okay. So he saw how good Padme was, right? He knew that the two had some chemistry together, but he knew a darker side of Anakin. Now, once they actually had a kid, he is the one who also caused Anakin the most pain by keeping it a secret,
What do you mean he
right?
caused him pain? He had to keep it a
Because
secret
Anakin,
for their lives.
yeah, but you can still let a brother know because at the end of the day, Anakin still went crazy, right?
Mm-mm. Nah, man, you don't tell a young child that his dad was a psycho, man. You let that man grow up and
Also,
live his life.
he watched Luke from afar like a freaking pedophile. Come
Oh,
on,
see, now we're
bro. I
making
don't know.
assumptions. What are we doing?
Hey, hey, my man was in the desert watching a little kid for how long? Years.
Years, yeah.
All I'm saying is he moved next to a school.
Oh
He
my
might
god.
get
See,
arrested.
you're
But
you're you're
okay,
reaching. This is how we know you're reaching. Because
no.
if it wasn't for Obi-Wan, Luke would have got murdered in his crib.
If
So
it
the
wasn't
fact that
for Obi-Wan, Luke wouldn't even have to worry about that because he could have been done with Anakin a long time ago.
nah, that was coming from either way. But you don't just kill Anakin. First of all, you think you chopped his legs off. You think it's a wrap anyways, right? Like it didn't like Obi-Wan was like, glad he's gonna live again. He chopped his leg off and he was on the side of a volcano river. Like he's like, all right, it's a
But
wrap. It's a
and
wrap
then what
here.
happened after that? And then what happened after that when they met again?
When they met again, now he knows he's Anakin. So now my emotions are involved. And so yeah, I bested you. And I'm like, I can't kill you. I can't pull that trigger. I'm a man of honor
So
again.
so wait. So he knew that Anakin was Darth Vader. He knew the type of
He had
death
just learned
and
this, by the way.
destruction. Okay, okay. But he knew the death and destruction caused by Darth Vader, correct?
Yes.
And he still chose to let him live to let that same death and destruction continue.
I would argue that adds to the character. If he would have just killed him, what's more story do we have? Whereas
He becomes a hero.
He's already a hero. He's Obi-Wan. He's already a hero. He fought in the Clone Wars. Come on, man. He's a hero. That man's a vet. That man got badges on his joint. Come
He
on,
got
man.
death on his joint too. Okay.
Nah, man. It adds to the character that he just didn't murder Anakin anytime he saw some darkness in him.
And let me are we free, to like bounce around talking about our characters and everything now?
Yes. So if
Okay.
you need to if you want to revisit, now's the time.
Yeah, I got some stuff to get off my chest. Brandon, let me tell you the story of one of the greatest characters, out there. My man Naruto, he was a son. Let's just say the president. He was the son of the president, the most loved president there ever was. And he didn't even get to know his dad. His dad was killed, and then let's say the president's next in line was told, "Hey, I need you to watch over my son because he's part of the village." He let him grow up in the damn slums by himself, homeless. My boy had to raise himself off ramen, some 29-cent ramen by
Fact,
himself all
fact,
day.
fact check, he was not homeless.
Okay, he had a
See,
home.
I
He
see.
had
I
no
can't even
family.
fact. I thankful Spenser's here. Jesus, you would have kept with that
Bro,
whole got it out the slug, got it out the mud. Come on,
bro.
man.
Okay, in
Nigga out
this
here lying.
ninja village, he had a house by himself
Oh,
from the
oh,
age of
so he was a homeowner at a
one.
young age. That's wild. I can't
Yeah,
even get a home.
yeah, you're right.
Millennials can't even get a
He
home. This man.
he
All
had a
right, that's
home, but he was
crazy.
out here eating ramen. By nobody liked him because he had
Which
a
is
demon
traditional
trapped inside of him.
in that country, by the way. Where is he from?
What you mean?
Where's
Whoa,
Naruto?
whoa. You just told you. Wait, where's he from? You tell me. You just said that's tradition. What country?
I'm saying, where's Naruto based in? Like
No,
what
but
country?
you just told me what country. You said that's normal.
Naruto, I'm
Are you
assuming
assuming
it's an
all?
anime from Japanese culture. I'm assuming. What is it from?
Yeah. So are you assuming that all
Okay,
Japanese
so
kids
ramen
are
is
homeless?
no. I'm saying ramen is a traditional meal. What are you talking about? I didn't say anything about that.
We was talking about owning a home, and you was like,
You
you was like,
said he eats ramen. He was struggling eating ramen. I'm saying ramen is a traditional meal there.
okay. I thought you were talking about the house. I thought you were trying to say all Japanese people grew up in on the
Nah,
streets.
man.
That's what
Nah,
I
you
heard.
reaching. You reaching. Continue.
But I'm saying, as a kid, he had a demon placed inside of him. He had to grow up his whole life hating himself, not knowing what was when he knew what was inside of him, but not knowing the potential he could have. He took all of that, rised above every struggle he had. He lost friends upon the way. He found love upon the way. He lost his mentor upon that way. And at the end of the day, he rose above everyone and became the Hokage, aka the president. Just in case you don't know what a Hokage is, but he is the
So he's the
president.
ops. Okay, interesting. Work all that
No,
time to
that's
get up him the ops. It's crazy.
so. Are you calling Obama the ops just because someone wants to grow up and become a president?
He became the oppressor. Is that what you're saying?
No, bro, he got rid of the oppressors. That's the thing. The Shadow Hokage was the one oppressing the people. My
Mm-hmm.
my boy Naruto brought his clan up out the mud. How
He's
many
a
times
gang
you been
member.
in the mud and brought yourself up? Yeah, bro. Big O's over here. Uchiha. Oh wait, no, that's Sasuke. Then my bad. He's
Wow.
a.
Well,
And and Uchiha starts with a U, not an O. But all right.
I said Uchiha. I bet Uchiha. Your boy can't spell. It's cool. But yeah, man, it's and Naruto had no friends, and by the time the series ended, he was beloved by many, many nations. Tell me how many people loved, even knew who Obi-Wan was.
bro? He was a commander in the Clone Wars, the biggest
Oh, so he's a
battle there
killer.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a killer. Oh
droids,
well, I
sure.
guess I can't say much.
Yeah,
I mean, he
exactly.
killed clones.
Yeah, he killed the defective clones. Yeah, when they turned on him. Yeah,
Some clones are people too, right?
yeah.
So he's a killer. Naruto
Uh,
incapacitated people. He didn't kill them.
so
He
he's a bitch.
incapacitated people.
Interesting.
Whoa. Come
I
on,
mean,
bro. What kind of language is that?
you called Obi-Wan a bitch for not killing Anakin.
It it depends on what cut they get, what cut the people get.
Okay. Interesting.
That's a little inside right there. In this case, it makes it or don't make it. We'll see. Uh, but
Hey man,
okay,
I'm ready to continue. Next
yeah. What's point
category.
two?
All right. We're going to move to side character. Brandon, you will open with arguments for side character.
Okay. For me, the best side character is for sure Han Solo. Um, Han Solo literally became one of the most beloved characters in Star Wars history because that's the beautiful thing about Star Wars. Some of the most beloved characters are not Jedi, do not have any powers. Han Solo is just a hustler. My man out here moving weight, doing whatever you got to do. Him and Chewbacca, Millennium Falcon, jumping around. First of all, one of the coolest ships ever made, right? Still, Lego still flipping that thing, making money off of it. But Han Solo is just great because he's a regular guy. Also, he got that Riz, as they say, pulled Leia, even though she was damn near in love with her brother, which is kind of weird. But he pulled Leia. You know what I'm saying? He was pulling aliens. Like Han Solo is one of the best side characters because he played his role. Also, he played a key role in the future by having Kylo Ren. Right, so he wasn't just a background character in the past. From the jump, he was killing it. Right, he played a great supportive character behind Luke. Luke was in there. Luke kind of took the role, in episode 5 and 6, but Han was right there having his back. Also introduced Chewbacca, a beloved character. Everyone knows that. Everyone does that noise. Everybody knows who Chewbacca is. Him and Chewbacca's relationship with the ship, Han Solo's pilot skills, one of the most talked about things there is. Some of the best pilots in Star Wars are usually Jedi, but Han Solo is up there. Also, Millennium Falcon is like 10 times bigger of a ship than most of those other guys fly. So Han Solo brought cool to Star Wars, whereas other guys brought some like very mystical. Han Solo brought coolness to it. Harrison Ford, like we know what type of energy he brings. He's top tier actor of all time. So again, Han Solo, one of the best side characters to ever do it. Didn't hold a lightsaber, didn't need one. My man had that ridge.
Okay. Jordan, rebuttal.
Yeah. So you mentioned I've seen Star Wars. How old was Leia when Han rescued her and was rizzing her up? How old was she?
I think she was a grown
I,
woman.
I, I don't know. She looked a little 17ish.
No, she
She
definitely
looked a
wasn't.
little young. Is this the same movie where she was like the slave to the big dude?
Jabba.
Yeah. Ain't that the
Yeah.
same movie?
Uh, I think. Damn. Think
I
about it.
want to say yeah. I
I
want to
know
say
she was
yeah.
under Jabba. I just don't remember which movie it is. I want to say it's 4, but I don't remember.
Okay. I wish we had someone look that up because I feel like she was looking a little underage, but in a place
She's
far, far away. I
she,
mean, hey,
Uh,
who might say you
Fact
found it?
check. I feel like she was 19.
Ooh,
yeah.
that's almost on the line, but in the galaxy far, far away. Who knows?
Let's look this
Who
up because
knows?
I mean they're technically twins, right? So her
Who
and Luke,
twins?
her and
Oh,
Luke.
oh, oh, Luke.
Yeah, they're both 19, right? Um, that's a consensual age. I know this day and age where we don't care about laws, but that's a consensual age,
I
right?
I
say
mean, I don't know. She was. They might try to say 19 to get away with it, but to me, she looked a little younger than that. But
I mean,
anyway,
she have a twin brother who we can literally fact check off of to see what age he is, and then we just go off that.
I mean, we don't even want to get started on that. I mean, because you just talked about the ancestry between these two characters. So, do we? This is
we're
the type
talking
of.
about Han now.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Let me
That's
get
true.
back to Han. Han is a cool character. I give you that. He did spawn Kylo Ren, which some might say that he's a bad father.
It's not
He
his fault.
kind of
He
he
sent his actually, I would say he's a good father. He sent his son to Luke to get trained by Luke, and Luke did the messed up part. It wasn't Han.
so
Wasn't Han's
so
fault.
so some might say that Han abandoned his son
No, if I send my kid to a camp to get trained by a
for how long?
leader,
For
I
how
mean,
long?
it takes a while as a Jedi, right?
So you sent your only begotten son
Don't do
to
that.
be trained by the Jesus of this
Yeah,
of this series.
yeah, that's crazy, right? Why would I do that?
Yeah, that is crazy because like we saw
No,
at
if
the
I
end
if
result
I know
that
he
we
has
thought it was
force,
Jesus, but my boy ended up turning to be evil because I don't know
I
what
mean,
happened to Han. I mean, to Han, but Luke
yeah, exactly.
during
No
that
one saw
movie.
Luke turning wild. No one saw that, right? We thought Luke
But
was
as
that
Han,
dude.
Han should have saw it though.
Why would he see it? He's a regular ass dude. Han's a working
No,
man.
you
He's American dream.
if
He's
you're
the
gonna send,
Dusty Rhodes of the Star Wars universe. Come on, man. You wouldn't know
I
the
mean,
I
reference
was
I'm
going to say
talking
the
about.
yeah,
Spencer.
I
wrestling
would
reference
say
Jordan isn't going to get.
Yeah, Spencer
that would
That was
knows.
for me.
Yeah.
that would have hit me, but yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know
Son
who
of a
that is.
plumber. Come on, man.
Who?
No, you get it. All
Anyway,
my folks will get it.
anyway, but I mean, okay, I give you that. Han is a cool character. Some might say the coolest character, but I mean, he is also a cheapskate and a gang member, right?
that's why people
I
love
would
him.
say people love the gang affiliation and all the robbing and the stealing and the killing he be doing.
Hey, man.
And
The beautiful thing about Star Wars is you have to ride that line. If you don't, if you try to be a straight up guy, Jabba the Hutt is gonna kill you. But if you do your job, hustle, do some things for Jabba, and then on the back end, cheat him basically out of money, you're the hero. Robin Hood, right? So yeah, he had to play the game.
so
Come on now.
so that's what all your heroes are, like the people who lie, cheat, and steal.
Captain, I just spoke about Captain America being my favorite, Obi-Wan being my favorite. Those aren't cheaters, right? But the reason people were late, most people, me, I'm a man of honor. Most people were late with Han Solo because
I mean,
he
honor
jumps on
debatable.
both sides, you know?
Oh, so you play both sides too, then?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely way more Han Solo than. But the
Oh,
goal is to be like Captain America, right?
but you play both sides.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know what you're trying to get at, but
We're talking
I
about
got I got
Han.
my clip. I
yeah,
got my
We're
clip.
talking about Han.
I know what you're trying to
uh,
do.
no, I got my
Go ahead and
clip.
talk
No,
about
but
Hiroshima or whatever the hell you're about to talk about.
yeah, man, I'm done with Han.
Okay.
Hiroshima. Whoa, is that another
You
shot
just
at the
got that.
Japanese people?
You
I
just
was going to
got
say that
that.
was late.
Yeah,
I was so late.
Because
you
this
just
is
got that.
shock to me, bro. The Japanese audience is just like, bro, they about to be done with us thanks to Brandon.
Hey
First he called
man,
all of them homeless and eating ramen. Now he talking about
I
Hiroshima.
definitely didn't say that, but all right. This is recorded, so I'm fine. People can listen.
Jordan's the editor, so
That is true. That is true.
I mean,
oh
yeah,
god.
I see.
All right. Jordan, you have the floor.
All right.
Wait, I'm sorry.
So,
Sorry to interrupt. Spencer, are you going to give us the result for each category at
Yes.
the end? Okay, got it. Got it.
so do I get my time back or?
Oh yeah, your time hasn't
All right.
started yet.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay,
You're
okay.
0.5 seconds. I'm sorry. I
So
apologize.
now you have the floor.
All right. So of course, there's a lot of great side characters in Naruto. Could have went with Neji. I could have went with some might say Sakura, but of course, some might say Rock Lee, but some might say Mike Guy or Kakashi. There's just so many great characters to go with. But today I'm going with Sasuke, and I'm gonna tell you why. Sasuke, he is the Vegeta of Naruto. Brandon, you've once said Vegeta is a great character, and Naruto, I mean not Naruto, Sasuke is right there next to him. He has the tragic backstory. He is the single sole survivor of his people. His brother slain his entire clan just to keep them in check. The tragic backstory is there. All the makings of a great character is there. He's conflicted. He wants to be a part of this of the village, but at the same time he has his darkness behind him, and he can't stop until he basically handle business. That's the new thing now. The kids want to big business. They want to stand on business, and Sasuke is standing on business. And another thing that makes him a great character, you know, he got hands. He got hands. My boy Sasuke got the hands. He got the jutsu. He got the eyes. Bro, he get the girls. He is just an all around package. Sasuke has so many great stories, so many great arcs. But I'm actually getting to that a little later, just to bring it back all around and bring it back a touch. So yeah, he has all the makings of a great side character. He is the yin to the main character's yang. He is the foil. He is the foil for Naruto, and that's
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
Right. Brandon,
Interesting.
rebuttal?
I don't
What
really
you
have
got?
much, to be honest. The show isn't
Wow.
important enough to watch, but I so is this character like a truly a side character? Like, is he a sidekick? What is he?
Some could say he's a main character, but it depends on how you look at the story.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's how deep Naruto characters are. You don't know whether they're side or main characters.
I mean, I say the same thing about Star Wars, but um, it is interesting. I don't know. You say Vegeta. I mean, I think Vegeta's on a totally different level, right? I think we'd agree on that.
Tell me how, with your only 20 episodes of Dragon Ball Z watching, so
First of all, I watched like 8 seasons of Dragon Ball Z, but um,
I don't believe it.
Vegeta obviously is a world renowned, right? You say Vegeta, and the most common person knows what I'm talking about. Who was this dude's name?
Sasuke.
Shinsuke Nakamura. What's his name?
Oh my god, bro! What did the Japanese
That's a
people do
wrestler.
to you?
It's a pro
Oh,
wrestler, man.
That's a wrestler.
so
So
you just think all Japanese people look alike now?
See,
You
you
just named a
reaching.
whole different
Your
Japanese person. That
reaching is
is, bro.
wild.
This is no. That is
You're showing
crazy.
your ass on this one.
This
Okay.
is crazy. It's
ah,
Sasuke.
Sasuke.
Imagine he was like, "Oh, what's your name? Tyrone Johnson." Like, yeah, that's the same thing you just did.
No, I thought you really said Shinsuke, to be honest. So Sasuke, you said?
Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
Okay.
I like the pronunciation.
Um, yeah. I've heard the name, but like it ain't on Vegeta. It's not, you know what I mean? Vegeta, like that's a common name. You know, that's a common everyone knows that. You know, like Goku, like they know Gohan, Vegeta, everybody knows. Everybody drew Vegeta as a kid. I don't know nobody drawing your boy.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Sasuke pull up when a room full of women, bro. They all folding.
It's
You know
debatable.
why? Because he stand on business.
Yeah. that
My
don't mean nothing to
my
me.
boy, he
But
pulls up. Imagine this. My boy pulls up with the kimono, with the shirt open, with a big sword in the back, with the abs showing a little bit. He got the hair kind
pause.
of going. He got the eyes showing. Yeah, bro. No, all homo. It ain't no pause. My boy look
Okay,
good.
all right. Talk about it then. Get your shit off
I
then.
was gonna say, like, you want to talk about a clip?
Yeah, we got your ass in HD. It's fine. Get your shit off
Nah,
if you need
man.
to. You need to express those
Nah,
type of feelings.
my boys, and then like he had to deal with so much. Imagine your brother kill your entire family, not just your mom, not just your cousin, bro. Everybody that you ever knew, your brother did that. He told you, if you want your revenge, you got to come see me. You got to stand on business. And Sasuke showed him that he stand on business. But I'm gonna get to that later because
Hmm,
that's how we roll.
interesting.
All
Hmm.
right. So I need to get back to Han. Now, you
Okay.
know what? Another thing about Han, he probably stink because he hang out with Jabba all the time. Not Jabba, Chewbacca,
What does
right?
that have to do with Chewbacca's? Oh, so you're saying what are
Because
you
he's
saying about
dirty,
Chewbacca's? Wookiees. What are you
bro.
saying?
They dirty. The Wookiees is dirty.
How do you know they dirty?
Yeah, bro. Because he furry. I ain't never seen him get his hair braided. I ain't never seen him, take a
Get
bath.
his hair braided? What are you doing,
Like
bro?
Chewbacca just look dirty. And him and Han just be, bro. They be running together, bro. I know he dirty. On
Chewbacca.
top of that, how Han didn't Han get tricked into? That's how I know Han is dumb. Han got tricked and turned into, was it carbon? Is that what he got turned into?
Yeah, the like
You know what
plate
I'm talking about?
deal. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, he sacrificed
dumb.
himself, but yeah, sure.
For what?
Um, for the greater good, man. Come on, man. For his
What's the
girl,
greater good? There was no. What's the name of his ship too, or is that the other dude's ship? What's the name of Han's ship? Is that the
Millennium
Millennium
Falcon.
Falcon?
Yeah,
Oh, never mind. Who got
one of the
who got the
most
slave rider?
slave rider,
The slave ship. You know what I'm talking about? Who is that?
slave ship. I
What's the
don't know.
dude
You
with the
must be
helmet?
talking about a different
The dude with the helmet. Green.
green.
Bro, he got the guns in the jetpack.
Oh, Boba Fett.
Come on, bro. Yeah. What's the name of Boba Fett shit?
I gotta. I'd have to look it up.
Because they had to rename it. When it was like the slave something. I thought
Oh
I
yeah, I
thought
mean
that was
it's probably the worst ship they have in Star Wars, to be honest. Just the look of it, but yeah. But yeah, Millennium Falcon, one of the most famous ships of all time. So,
okay.
um,
Oh yeah, it was Boba Fett. See, bro, I know more Star Wars than you. That's crazy. Um, I thought that was his ship, but
you couldn't name who
Okay.
Boba
We're
Fett
we're,
was,
we're
but
talking
okay.
about Han.
Yeah, yeah. Like, can we get
but
him
I thought
on
that was Han's
subject,
ship
please?
name.
Huh?
I thought it was Han's ship name, but I forgot it's
Oh yeah.
Millennium
See,
Falcon.
throwing racism on somebody else. Go ahead.
What was the point of Han in the movies? What did he even do?
He brought a real character. He brought a grounded level. He brought coolness to
If you
the franchise.
if you take him out, does he have an impact on the story? You take Sasuke
Absolutely.
out, he has a big impact on the story. On the story, you take Han out,
I mean, if you
what
take
impact does he
Han
have?
out, there's no reality. There's nobody who's playing both sides, right? As far as being a hustler, but also later figuring out a purpose on trying to save the universe from the Empire, right? Like all you get is
Oh,
Luke's
the Empire that
trajectory.
Obi-Wan caused to happen.
We're talking about Han.
Exactly, yeah. Like look at you
I mean,
jumping
yeah, but I
around,
said
bro.
Han. That
Let's stay
coast
focused.
happen.
Let's
Okay,
stay focused. You lucky I haven't watched this because I would be poking holes in your entire argument. I didn't watch
you should have did your research.
Naruto. You said, um,
You should did your research, like I did
I'm
mine.
good. Is that the show where they wear the stupid headband, the dumb headband looking thing?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's that
yeah,
one.
yeah,
Oh, so
with the weirdos moving their fingers and shit. Okay, we'll leave that alone. Um,
dang, my boy Brandon got
but
the anime community mad right now.
hey, man, do your thing. You want the smoke? Come on. But I'm done with this side character. I think that was an easy layup for me. But
Okay, I do like I said, I think you take Han out of Star Wars completely. He has no impact on the story, in my opinion.
false, completely false. Like the
You take
Star Wars is
Sasuke
not
out,
about
he has
Jedi.
a major impact.
Please, oh man,
And plus, the importance of a side character is like someone who you truly care about and who truly has an impact on the story as a whole.
that's
Yeah,
Han Solo.
you nah, you have so many
He
other
not only
better
has an
side
impact
characters.
on the current version, his son is literally the villain of the sequel trilogy. So that's called impact, sir.
Because it's bad
I'm done here.
decision, and also because of Obi-Wan's bad decision not to kill. What's called? But okay. What's next category?
The next category is villain. Jordan, you have opening remarks.
Yeah, so it's funny. Like I've mentioned this villain before, and there's so many. I was going to list. There's so many memorable villains. We got Pain, we got Madara, and I actually didn't even choose to go with Madara. I actually chose to go with Itachi this time. So I spoke highly of Sasuke. Now, to me, Itachi went through his villain phase in the first half of the Naruto. Once again, he was cursed with basically being the best. Like he was so dangerous. I mean, his people was so dangerous. He had to go through and kill everyone. Like that is some villainous activity. Saved his brother and told his brother, like, if you want your revenge, you're gonna have to come kill me. All the hatred inside of his heart was all love, and we didn't even know that. The fact that he was also, while he was being hunted, he was also doing some mentoring as well. He kept, Sasuke wanting to level up. He taught him about every single one of the different Sharingan in his eyes. He was a villain that you could actually root for. When he died, it was actually a sad death. Like he died loving his brother. That is a making of a great villain. Like it's amazing. Like everyone holds Madara to such a high standard. They are related, but I think Itachi is the better villain. Um, he caused all kind of issues for Naruto the first time uh they came encounter. I believe, if I remember right, he almost killed either Naruto or Sasuke, but Jiraiya had to come in and rescue them. It's been a few years since I've seen the series, so I could be misremembering, but I believe he almost killed one of them, but he had to be saved. So I think Itachi is the best villain
Okay.
for this category.
Okay. Brandon, rebuttals.
See, Brandon ain't got nothing.
I mean, I don't. Again, I
He didn't
didn't
do his
watch this,
research.
but I mean, I can't watch that many seasons and days. But I just I just don't think there's anybody touching Star Wars villains. Like it's just you're not even close. You're not even in the ballpark. I respect your
Bro got
choice.
one villain.
I respect your choice. It really don't, but I respect your choice. But you're just not on the level of the villains I'm about to bring up. But hey, man, a cute little anime villain. I like it, man. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was a good time for you. But like, it's just not on the level of the characters I'm about to bring up. It's just not.
I
Okay.
mean, I'm gonna let you bring up your one villain, but okay.
And Brandon, you have the floor.
I could be boring. I could be basic. I could just say Darth Vader and end the argument there, right? That'd be the easy choice argument over. But I'm gonna pick the great Admiral Thrawn. Thrawn is a great villain because Thrawn doesn't just beat you. He appreciates he appreciates your effort for even trying to beat him. He appreciates the art. He appreciates your talents. He beats you thoroughly, like with intellectually. Also, he's from the Chiss. He worked his way up through the Empire. He was not a favorite. He was not. He dealt with racism in the Empire for being blue and all these other things. But he continued to rise. He fought through, and then he became the leader, the Grand Admiral. Right, had his own ship. Had it put his own little graffiti on that joint. Well, nobody doing that, right? Palpatine trusted him more than all the other admirals getting knocked off, bro. He was killing them off easy. Grand Admiral, he was like, nah, hey, bro, you got it. You the point guard, run the team. Every time he was going up against the New Republic, he was going up against Ezra, all of them. Smart, always one step ahead, but also appreciating you. You know what I mean? He would he would appreciate your culture. He would appreciate everything you're doing, and he would understand your perspective. Even though he would kill you, he would still say, "Hey, man, I appreciate your effort. I appreciate you being here, but it's over for you." Right? He's smooth. Right? The dude always had a fresh fit on. Right? No scuffs on his shoes. My man he was like that. So again, I could be basic in this argument with Darth Vader. That's easy. But I want to show the versatility of Star Wars. Talk about Grand Admiral Thrawn, which you saw. He's the smoothest villain we've seen in a long time, right? And it ain't like he ain't dealt with nothing. The dude has dealt with a lot. So again, Grand Admiral Thrawn, smooth. They just introduced him in the live action. We saw how dope that was. So
Time. Okay. Rebuttals, Jordan.
Brandon, can I ask you something? How old is Ezra?
Ezra at the
When
time,
he
like what at what time?
around the age range when they first met Thrawn, and it's everything when he got thwarted by when Thrawn got thwarted by him. Just about ballpark.
Let's look it up here. I would say he was. Looks like he was around teenager age, like older teenager, close to 18.
Oh, teenager. Okay. How old would you say? What's the girl name? Sabine.
Sabine?
Which one?
Yeah.
How old would you say she is?
Um, and you got me
Just
really.
ballpark. Just but you
I mean,
you
she's a
can just throw
teenager.
a
She's
number out
probably
there.
older. She's probably 20, early 20s.
So okay, so but we'll call it 20 and what? We'll say 17, 16 for Ezra.
Yeah.
And how long has Thrawn been around? How old would you say he is? Maybe 60s, 70s, 1000.
60s and 70s. No, he was younger
Oh,
at the time.
it's kind
He
of hard
been
to
in the
tell
other
blue
galaxy
people.
for a long time.
Okay, it's kind of hard to tell blue people that
Yeah,
blue don't
sure.
crack. So we'll just say he's an adult. He probably has a 401k. So to be such a great villain, you mean to tell me he got Scooby Dooed by a bunch of 16-year-old kids just on a mission?
See, that's where you're wrong. He didn't take on just Sabine and just Ezra. He took on the entire New Republic, right? So that means senators who were with the New Republic. He took on, literally other Jedi who were sympathizing with the New Republic. He took on the entire thing with just his fleet, right? He didn't have Darth Vader didn't pull up and be like, "Hey, I got it." No, he was like, he actually he knew Anakin when Anakin was, a human form, and they had respect for each other. And Darth Vader was around when Thrawn was doing his thing. Palpatine has so much respect for that man, for Thrawn. He didn't even send his biggest weapon. He was like, "No, no, no, Darth Vader, hold on. Let Thrawn cook. Let Thrawn cook."
That's interesting. Okay, so we'll just say the 16-year-old sent him to another galaxy. If he was such a great villain, seems like no one really cared to even bring him back. Nobody in the Empire was like, is Empire or Republic? Which one's bad guys? The Empire.
Empire, yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. So nobody in the Empire was like, "Hey, if he's such a great guy, we should go get him," or they were too afraid of another 60-year-old whooping them.
I
Is
mean,
it what just true or false? Did a 16-year-old young Jedi male send him to a galaxy along with his fleet?
that is false. Okay, we'll talk about both those. There's actually
Whoa,
a
okay,
whole
wow.
television show. There's a whole television show called Ahsoka where they do their whole thing about they go and get them, right? They need Dothraki. They need all these different people to go
Can we fact
get.
check? Spencer, can we fact check him? Because I thought we discussed that he got sent to another galaxy
No,
thanks
he did.
to.
He did. I want to elaborate. He did, but I'm
Okay,
saying
you said it
No,
was false.
your
Okay.
your argument was that nobody cared about the fact that that happened, and that's what
yeah.
The
Brandon was
Empire
speaking
didn't
to.
care. Okay. The Empire didn't
So, I
care.
mean, yeah, sure, maybe. I mean, I don't think that's the case. But the whole show, Ahsoka show, by the way, was all about going to get Thrawn because we all know there's about to be a
No,
whole
no, no, no.
movie.
No. Well, I thought I was going to go get Ezra.
No, the point was to stop Thrawn. If we get Ezra, that's great. That's a bonus. But the point is to
Oh yeah,
not
yeah,
let
you're right.
Thrawn
I
come
forgot
back.
about that part.
Yeah. Now when you say he got thwarted by a 16-year-old, sure, you could say that in vacuum, but Ezra consistently failed against Thrawn. His only way to defeat him was to send that nigga to a different galaxy, which in Star Wars was not even an option until Thrawn showed up. Like before that, it was just like, all right, let's just kill him. We can't kill this man. We got to send his ass to a different galaxy. We got to use the Purgles, which we haven't used. Send his ass to a different galaxy so he cannot
So
run this shit again.
he was so much of a great villain that he came up with a plan to go to another universe, but 16-year-old outsmarted him, sent him to another universe that he planned to use.
No,
Did I
Thrawn
get that
had
right?
no. Thrawn did not want to go to another universe. He wanted to stop the New Republic, and Ezra was the main Jedi, right? Palpatine is looking for the and shit. Ezra
Jedi is a loose
damn near
term. Wasn't the Jedi disordered from then? So he was like a Jedi in training, maybe
no. He
perhaps.
was a very capable Force user who used the
Force
Force.
user, not a Jedi, a Force user.
I mean, he would have been a Jedi. They were just disbanded.
It
The
would have
point
been.
is,
Would have been
the
is
point
is
is, he went
strong.
face. Ezra went one v one versus Palpatine and won. Right? He found the world between worlds. Like you act like this Ezra is just some like little Padawan that was running around. No, this nigga's done
I'm
a
just saying.
ton.
He's all I know is he's 16-year. I don't know. I mean, 16-year out here whooping me like that, and
I mean, I
I'm
don't know.
401k white suited out.
Unless you can name another Jedi any age who actually used the Purgles for his own benefit. I don't know nobody else. I didn't even know the Purgles existed like that till Ezra showed up. So, I mean, you say he got beasted by a
That's
16-year-old. I don't even look at age, right? We're not ageist here.
whoa.
We're not ageist here. We talk about this. If he has a skill at a certain age, great. And that's what Ezra did. So,
So, like I said, so okay, so Ezra thwarted this great, villain. Okay, okay.
okay. If that's what you got out of all the information I just gave you, then I can't help you.
So,
Okay.
I'm gonna
Uh,
continue telling you one more thing about Itachi. So you want to talk about the respect? Itachi has gained the respect of basically everyone he has come in contact with. He is a villain, but he's a loved villain. Do you know what it feels like to be loved, Brandon?
Yeah, sure.
That's all I want to say. I just want to get that out there. Just want to say that.
okay. All right. now it's going to get a little more broad. So we are going to move to stories that exist in these universes. Brandon, the floor is yours.
Now, I want to start here
And
with.
I will give you 3 minutes for story.
Oh, nice, thank you. That's not good for you, Jordan. Basically, I'm speaking about Andor, Cassian Andor, the best show of 2022, potentially the best show of Star Wars in general. When we talk about Andor, the beautiful thing about Star Wars is the Force, they can give you the mystical, but then we can also give you the political, right? And so Andor showed the beginning of the Resistance, showed the literal words that started the Resistance, right? We got to see the rebellion. We got to see Saw Gerrera, who was basically a terrorist, but he thought I needed to be a terrorist to thwart the Empire. We got to see Andor go into jail, bro. Come on, man. That episode when they was in the prison. Come on, man. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that, right? Cassian, his droid, amazing story with his in dealing with the Empire and dealing with and also when he flew through the stars, amazing, amazing. Andor is one of the better characters because, as we find out later on in Rogue One, he was an assassin, right? But he changed his life and helped the rebellion to stop the Star Destroyer and sacrifice his life, right? And so Andor is one of the best stories because, again, it shows the beginning of the rebellion, right? And the rebellion starts there. Yeah, it ends with Luke and them shooting down the Empire and all that, but it starts with Andor. It literally starts with Andor, and so to me, that is why it's the best story because it wasn't about guys wielding the lightsabers and force using, moving rocks and all that. It was just about dudes doing political moves, moving things, working with senators, doing different things to try to thwart the empire piece by piece, right? Every piece mattered. And that's kind of what it showed is that we didn't need a Jedi. We didn't need Luke. We didn't need Ahsoka. We just needed Andor, a couple senators, you know what I mean? Saw Gerrera, other people like that to thwart this whole thing. And that's kind of what started. So basically, Luke had a layup at the end, right? Due to off the back of the work that Andor and the rest of the rebellion did. So Andor, best TV show of 2022, probably the best show of 2023 if it would have came out in 2023. So again, Andor, top tier television.
What was the category? Story?
Story, yes. So he told the story of Andor. Rebuttals?
Yeah, I mean, I can only go by what my two eyes were graced with seeing. And so what I Andor, I would say was borderline mediocre. No, just playing. I mean, Andor was pretty good, except for those first three episodes. A little boring. The character itself himself is he's not that impressive to me. Like he's not like it's not like the hero that I would love to see. The story of Andor itself is it's only okay. I mean, in Star Wars, you had a lot of options. Not really. Yeah, not really. You don't really have a lot of options. So I see why you went with Andor.
I mean, I could have went with the main line of Star Wars shows, but I just went with the most recent fantastic show that was out there.
I mean, you could have went with Ahsoka, but chose Andor. I mean, yeah, like I said, that story of Andor was only okay. Let's be honest. No one really cares about the how do you say the politics of Star Wars. No one cares about that, but you.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. I know
We
you're
know
casual. I know you're casual.
we
It's fine.
know we know why we here. We are here to see the red and green clashing in the hint of blue. That's what we're here for.
See,
We don't want to
that's
see some people talking. If we want to see that, we watch Judge Judy. If we want to see people get judged, we watch Judge Joe Brown. We don't need to
bro.
see
Or
that.
they
We want to
listen
see
to
people
the League of
banging.
Melanated Gentlemen because we're
That's
doing
true.
that right now.
That's true.
But they like to see us fight. That's what they really want to see.
True,
Because no
but
one wants to see that. But
My
what?
point is, okay, if you had lightsaber battles for every like just 12 episodes, just lightsaber battles, you would turn it off
Right? No way. Why would
because
I do that? Especially if it's good choreography.
no, you would turn it off because it's just like, oh, okay, it's just lightsaber battles. Like we get that every episode. Oh, all right, it has no importance. Where shows like this build to the importance of a Jedi lightsaber battle because you know what they're fighting for. This is literally the groundwork. The episode One Way Out, when they're in the prison and people getting knocked off, and
Is
they're
that the
using,
prison break?
yeah, they're using them as slaves basically, and they're telling them you're going to get out, you're going to get released, but really they just put them on a different floor and just work their ass again, right? Like, my
Yeah,
boy,
slavery. Yeah,
yeah, that's slavery exactly. Like, so
I'm happy you
the
enjoyed that.
and the writing of the show, the speeches on this show, 10 times, bro, it's top tier,
The last 6 episodes were good. Yes, I give you that.
bro. It's better than
Three were phenomenal.
no, no, all three. The first ones are great. They were just laying the
No,
groundwork. Again, if you don't have patience, that's fine. That's all you got to say. But again, this had an amazing top tier story, and it had 12 episodes. What other show, MCU show getting 12 episodes? We know that, right? Due to the lack of story,
Daredevil.
there's not going to be 12 episodes anymore. They actually took that down.
Well,
So
yeah, we'll have to go into that, but it might be 12 because it was supposed to be 19. What was it 18, 15? It
it's
was
supposed to
supposed to be
be,
18 at first.
We're talking about Andor.
yeah.
That's Brandon
But the
getting us
point
off.
is,
He's the
they
one brought
have
up MCU.
they have so much confidence in this story that Bob Iger was like, "Oh, hey man, run it up, throw another 2 episodes on top of that joint because this is phenomenal, right? This
Nah,
honestly,
I think the opposite. Continue though.
what?
I'll let you continue.
This is the best story they had. Think of the actors they had, the caliber of acting they had. It felt honestly, Ahsoka was great, but this was on a different level. This was for the higher level thinkers. Ahsoka was for the very baseline. You just want to see some light up swords and people,
It's
hitting each
funny.
other with it. But you just want to
It's
see
funny
an Anakin pop up every now and again.
it's funny you mention Ahsoka because I believe in the if I'm in the heads of the Star Wars execs, we release Andor and people like you are like, oh yeah, I love to see the politics, but the rest of the world is like, no, that's boring. So since Andor was a flop,
That's
let's
what's wrong with
bring
the
let's
world.
bring let's bring Ahsoka. Let's get the action pack going, and the people love Ahsoka. That's why they had to clean it up for. Imagine if Ahsoka would have came out first, and then Andor. People would have been like, "Yo, Star Wars, see, they lost it, bro. Andor, they just talking politics on there."
No, no. True Star Wars fans, they care about the entire universe. They don't care about just Luke. And that's the problem. It's just like a Power Rangers deal, right? These idiots only care about Mighty Morphin. There's a whole fucking 29 seasons after that, right? That build the entire franchise. That's the point of Star Wars. Yeah, this nigga Luke came up. There's a whole bunch of years before Luke ever showed up that we need to address. So that's why Andor is so good. It addresses literally the manifesto for the rebellion is a book that's in the show. That's literally what Leia's talking about, and people years down the line they're talking about and basing their entire actions off of that manifesto. We got to see the beginning of it. We got to see the ingredients. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Andor top tier.
What I mean, I'll give it to you, but I mean, the fact that we never saw
Joe,
Joe Mama got him. All right, but it's my turn.
Oh
it's
God.
late. It's fine.
I knew what was happening, but I couldn't
I
say
know. I
anything.
thought Brandon was gonna get it. Yeah, but he fell for it. I love it. I'm gonna try to throw those in like every episode just to see if you guys can catch them. But
Yeah,
we'll
I was
see.
gonna say I don't know how much more of this playing I'm gonna have in my courtroom.
Exactly. Thank you. Get this kid in the line, man. Come on, man.
Bro, he over
Still,
here bringing up Power Rangers in MCU in the Star Wars episode, talking about a Star Wars
I
manifesto. So
made a
that's
very valid comparison. See, I can jump away, bring it right back. You jump away and you stay over there. Your ass will go over there for 15 minutes if we let you.
let's start picking the dandelions in the field.
Come on back, Jordan. Come on.
All right, Jordan, you have the floor.
Okay. Brandon didn't talk about the entire story of Star Wars, and so I decided to just kind of limit it to one arc, and that might be, a bad thing for me, but I believe it's fair. So I am going to just take the Sasuke retrieval arc, which some hold that, that entire arc to the highest degree. I've already spoke highly of how Naruto and Sasuke are. We talk about the differences. They are the eternal rivals to each other. They're each other's foil. And in this particular arc, we see this is a really, really emotional time for Naruto. Naruto looks up to Sasuke as the cool guy. He wants to be just like him. He wants to be the prodigy just like him. Meanwhile, Sasuke looks at Naruto like, he's annoying. He'll never be anything. He'll never amount to anything. Which, that's the very Goku and Vegeta kind of, one trains to be great, one is just great on its own. And this is the exact same thing we see here. But Sasuke goes through a change where he he basically wants to just kill his brother. He just wants revenge. And so he's going through any means necessary to become more powerful. And he ultimately leaves his home and decides to take this dark path. Um, Naruto just can't handle it. So he deems it upon himself and his teammates to go actually retrieve Sasuke. And this time, Sasuke is becoming more powerful than Naruto. He can't, Naruto can't handle Sasuke at this time, but Naruto still put his life, he put his lives of his friends, he put everything on the line to retrieve Sasuke. He almost died multiple times. He go up against the most powerful people that he had ever seen at that time, them being the Sound Ninja 4 at that time. And this is where Naruto really just started to show his emotional intelligence, his physical prowess. He becomes more powerful. We also see his team become more powerful and work together. And ultimately, they rescue Sasuke. But the heart wrenching moment is Sasuke rejects him. Sasuke actually tries to fight Naruto, and he injures him. And Naruto at this moment is like, I don't know what else I can do. This is an emotional show. You're not going to get this type of emotion, this type of fight, this type of imagery, this type of speech that they were given. You're not going to get this in the Star Wars thing. From beginning of the arc to the end of this arc, it was just a fantastic moment. And I just chose this one beautiful arc, but there are many other arcs. We could talk about Jiraiya dying. What a heart wrenching moment. We could talk about the entire Pain saga. We talk about the fourth grade ninja war. We could talk
Time.
about Sasuke and
So we can't talk about it. So
you're right.
Brandon, rebuttals.
Look, I'm sure this is a great story. I'm sure it's cute. I'm sure it's nice and compact. But I've heard a little bit about this whole rejection thing. It seems nice, but I just don't know if it hits the level of emotions that's needed. Right, the stakes aren't as high. Right, is it a world-ending type of deal? I don't think so. It seems like it's very contained. Right.
Some people like grounded. You tell us all the time that's what the MCU needs to do. But okay, continue.
I mean, sure, but
no. Continue. No, we're not talking about the MCU.
no, I'm saying like the fact that you're saying this is very, I don't know, it seems very like minuscule, right? It doesn't seem very. Whereas in Andor, sure, Andor is a great story because it's grounded, right? We're starting at the floor. They're literally stopping Empire footholds on random planets, but the consequences are world ending, right? We know the stakes. But the cool thing is we get to go with these people as they do small, grounded missions because they know the stakes are bigger than them. This, what you're talking about, sounds like just some like relationship
This is
between two
years of
homies
Yes, it
who
is years
had a
of
disagreement.
building. No, it is years of all the culmination of all their interactions with each other. They were brothers. They were rivals. Do you have a rival, Brandon?
No, I don't.
So you can't relate. I have a rival in this world.
Who's your rival?
These nuts. All right. But no, I have a rival. But I'm just
About to get
saying,
held
if I
in
did have a
contempt.
rival,
Exactly. Objection, Your Honor.
you have to understand, Brandon. You're not that good at basketball, so like you don't understand like a you don't understand when someone's like good at something
Jordan is fighting
naturally,
for his life.
and you have to practice. You know, there's that
Right.
type of dynamic going on here, and that's the beautiful thing about this arc.
Okay. I mean, the level of reaching that has been done in this episode is wild.
That's
Um,
that's that's what happens.
yeah. You don't have good
I think
arguments,
it's
you reach. And I understand when you don't play. Hey, it's just like basketball. I know you don't really know basketball as well, but I'm saying when you can't, when you can't play defense solid, you reach, right? You trying to get lucky. You trying to hit a loose ball. You know what I mean? So that's what you're doing right now. And so I
So
understand. Hey, keep reaching, man. I get it. Sometimes you get a loose, cause a deflection. Hey, man, clap it up for you. Hey, you
I
know
get a
what I mean?
couple steals.
Yeah, do your thing. They'll think you're a good defender. But yeah, I just don't think it holds up story wise. I mean, I don't know about has Naruto been held in esteem the way Andor is, and Andor's only been out for a
uh,
year and a half. Year.
as a matter of fact, it is probably what top five most selling manga on Earth. So I would say yes.
I mean, it's not. I mean, manga. Come on now. Come on now.
What's wrong with manga? What are you
I'm
about to
just
say about the
saying, like, come
Japanese?
on, like,
What?
what are we doing? Like, come on,
Wow.
dog.
Are you saying that the
My point
Japanese
is,
manga
it's
is not
10
real?
times harder. It is 10 times harder to make a Star Wars live action show that does not have a
Cap.
Jedi in it successful than it is to write a successful manga. I
It
can
is
put a million bucks on that.
it is harder to have a successful manga than it is to have a Star Wars movie. Do you know
Boss.
how many manga come out a year? Probably hundreds of thousands. We only ever hear about the top ones because those get serialized. You never hear about the time my sister got trapped in a closet and I was in there with her, volume two.
Bro, wow.
That's a reference. That's a see Chris listens. He got that one because we make jokes at that time. He got that one, but Spencer might have got that
um,
one because those some crazy anime references to
but
crazy
the
shows.
point
But
is, it's 10 times. First of all, it's a thousand times more expensive, right? You're taking 10 times more of a chance with a TV show,
yeah, you're
just in
right.
general.
You're right.
Doesn't matter what it is. Oh, by the way, the most toxic fan base in history almost. You are dealing with that fan base. So you have to satisfy that fan base. Oh, by the way, there is no Luke, there is no Anakin, there is no Jedi. It is strictly ground level political type of show. And you're putting this joint out before Ahsoka, before these new trilogy.
They had to clean up with Ahsoka. You're right.
No. Come on, man. Like 2022, Andor owned 2022. Ahsoka, great. Liked it. Really good. But come on now. That's Rebels
2022,
season
Ahsoka
six.
did. No, I mean, what year did The Last of Us come out? Was that 23? Or was that 22?
It was 23.
Okay, all right.
It's
My
definitely
bad. I was
it's
gonna
better
say
than
that.
Last of Us.
What?
I believe Andor is
Andor
better than
better
Last
than
of Us.
Last of Us is not on trial today.
Yes,
you
thank you.
lost your mind. But we brought in Andor though. Spencer, can I
So
ask you something as the judge? As the judge, what is your opinion? Do you think Andor is better than Ahsoka, or do you think Ahsoka is better than Andor? Just curious.
that is a question that I will answer when I'm not the judge.
Wait,
Wow,
hold
paying
that.
the judge.
I
That's
do want to know
crazy.
though. But yeah, Last of Us came in 2023. So that was a good
Okay.
reach. Another reach. I like it.
Okay, and so now we are going to discuss the world in which these, like the whole universe in which these IPs take place. So, Jordan, you have the floor. I will give you 3 minutes, but it'll be a loose 3 minutes. So if you go a little over, it's going to be okay. But you
Ain't
have
gonna
the
need
floor.
all of it.
Yeah, that's right. I don't never need 3 minutes, baby. I just need one. Uh, so the world of Naruto. It's the world of ninjas. Now, follow me with this one, Brandon, because I know you're a little slow. So I mean, sometimes it takes you a little it takes you a little bit to catch on to things. So everyone on this earth has chakra. Okay, so chakra is your life essence. This is what
The
You
Force.
manifest naturally.
Got it.
Please don't
So
interrupt.
I guess it's kind of like the Force, but it's not the Force. But yeah, everyone has these certain chakras, and these people are able to manipulate them and create all sorts of fantastic powers, magic, somewhere in between there. They have a power. The power scaling system is just amazing. They also have these fantastic beasts, which we call what's those big ass things called? The eight.
I can't help you.
I know, huh? Fuck. It's the big ass bees. I don't know how I just literally just went mind break that the Jinchuriki have inside of them. So I mean, we have those. We have uh people who've been around for hundreds of years, just still walking on Earth. There's so many great stories inside of this, and we spend just a little bit of time just on this one island of Konoha. Sometimes we get to explore out to other places, and you get to meet like other people with crazy abilities, people who can like spit lava, hot fire. They can spit fire out the mouth. We got other people who can do ice, electric. They have wonderful weapons. I mean, they have the seven great swordsmen. I mean, look at that. Just think about in the world of seven great swords, and people are trying to take those. There's just so many great different uh things in this universe. And there's so many more powerful people. I mean, we have people who can literally bring a meteor out of the sky in order to create huge attacks. There's just so many different just things in this world. And it's definitely like in the world of anime, it's one of the best world building in my opinion. um yeah, it's definitely one of the best world building things in that universe. And there's so many more stories to tell. The story is still going on. We just see a younger generation. And that's the thing about great TV, great animation. We get to follow these characters from kids to adults and to when they have kids. That is what we call great world building. We don't just spend time with one family, we spend time with multiple families, multiple great characters. And we just don't have to worry about a Skywalker. That's really what it comes down to. I rest my case.
Brandon, rebuttals.
Um, that was kind of all over the place. I'm trying to pick where I want to attack. So it seems as if is the show continuing? Is it over or is it
Technically, it's over, but it continuing. It ended. The original show ended, but then they continue to following the next generation. But those old characters are still in the new generation. If that
so they
makes
only
sense. Like
have
they
like
got kids.
so they basically have two shows, right? The show that started and ended, and then this new show.
Technically three, but yeah,
Okay,
they got
three.
him. They follow Naruto as a kid. He's like a teenager, like 20. I'll say like a teenager, 20-year old, and then now he's like a full grown man.
That's
You see
crazy.
the
That
evolution of
must be
him.
nice to only have three shows. That's kind of cute. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
three.
3 shows, 1,000+ episodes. Yeah, you're right.
Interesting. I think the Young Jedi on Disney Channel has like three seasons or something. But yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
That's
that's
cute.
cool. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't have too many rebuttals. I mean, I'll kind of finish them with my argument. But you know, hey, three little shows. That's cool. I'm happy for the Naruto fans who can follow all this stuff and you can probably knock it out in about a month and a half and on to the next thing, right? On to the next hot anime or manga, whatever you're watching. That's cool. You can't really live in the universe for a long time, but hey, when you're in the universe, I bet you have a good time. But yeah,
Okay. Not like people leave that long with Star Wars, but okay.
I'll touch on that.
Okay. Brandon, you have the floor.
So the beautiful thing about Star Wars is I just got introduced to the universe about 2 years ago, right? It started in the 70s. So we got a whole generation who loves the original three. Then we have a whole new generation that loves the prequels. And then we got a newer generation that loves Rebels, Clone Wars, grew up on the animation side, right? That's a totally different. That animation side is killing it on a totally different level, right? Um, and then we have the kids growing up today who have Ahsoka and all these different people, right? So generationally, it continues. And oh, by the way, it isn't stopped; it's continuing. By the way, but it hit 3 different generations. You have different planets. This is honestly, Star Wars was one of the first franchises to really world build. Right? You had Coruscant, you had Tatooine, you had Lothal, you had the world between worlds, right? Which is kind of newer. Then now we're figuring out that we got a whole new galaxies. Um, and also we have like the planet for Mandalorians. If you wanted, you could make a show just. Oh, by the way, there is a show called The Mandalorians. That's crazy. That's dedicated. They haven't even really been to the Mandalorian planet yet. They've been to it a little bit, but not that much. They could have a whole show for that. But oh, by the way, we talk about different areas, different worlds. It's crazy that you talk about anime. Star Wars has tapped into the anime world and killed it. It was like, let's hop over here, let's kill it with visions, and then we'll hop back over into our regular animation, right? Um, the beautiful thing about Star Wars is it's the mecca of world building, right? Other franchises have done it, some with success, the MCU for the most part, right? But others have failed. DC, plenty of others, right? Um, Godzilla, all them, they all trying it. But Star Wars is the peak. That's where it all started, right? People loved Star Wars with George Lucas because they was like, how did you build this universe with such little resources, right? You didn't have CGI and all this shit back then, right? He just had to build different worlds and different vibes, right? So I think Star Wars, again, the world, the universes, you got so many different stories. You had Anakin coming up while Grand Admiral Thrawn's coming up. Oh yeah, we got Lothal. You got the Rebels, Clone Wars, Bad Batch. Right? They got their own little story over there. That's probably the best animation show of Star Wars. That's my hot take. Like it's just so many different stories weaving in together. So if you look at a Star Wars timeline, it's a beautiful thing because it's a lot of things going on at the same time. And honestly, you can go if you follow one of those threads, you can go down a rabbit hole, right? So to me, it's no comparison. This is honestly unfair that we did Star Wars versus Naruto. It's not fair. I kind of feel bad for you, Jordan, that I had to dunk on you like this. But as far as world building, it's not even close.
Okay. Jordan, rebuttals?
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep it too long. Brent, I noticed you talked about the peak of Star Wars, and I would say the internet disagrees with you. I think we are in the dark time of Star Wars. I mean, you talked about the
Mm.
movie come out in the 70s. Um, I mean, the first three, I mean, yeah, if you're a kid of the 70s and you love seeing this terrible graphics, and yeah, that's nice. They don't hold up to today's standards.
Especially
If you look
really
at a show
good.
like Naruto start in 99, the animation still holds up.
I mean,
We
because
want to
it's
talk about
go
the
ahead.
prequels. Oh no, the sequel,
The prequels,
the
yeah.
prequels. Yeah,
Next,
that's
yeah,
one 2002.
yeah,
Is that the one? Is that
2000.
the one? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, we want. First of all, that's a confusing timeline. By the way, come on now. That should already be a strike.
that's what
Come
makes it
on, we start.
unique, right? We told a story at
Yep,
the
yep.
beginning, and then we gave you a prequel. Now people are doing it; they're copying out the Star Wars model. But go ahead.
And a lot of people hate the prequels. I hear so many people complain about the prequels, and then on top of that, 6, 7, and 8, or 7, 8, 9, whichever one it 7, 8, 9. A lot of people hate those. I'm just going with what the internet is telling me. A lot of people hate those, and a lot of people would say that Star Wars under Disney has been failing. And I mean, you want
I
to go
mean,
talk about animation? I mean, Clone Wars was cool. It was it was a fun for a kid show. I mean, there wasn't really a lot of
you're an
there
animation guy.
wasn't
You
a
call
lot
it a
of
kid
life
show.
lessons. Like
Crazy.
for in Naruto, you get a lot of life lessons. What life lessons was Clone Wars teaching us?
I was teaching them about
None.
treating clones correctly, like giving them they're actually humans, treating aliens of all races fairly, right?
There,
Freeing slaves, right? Slavery is not a good thing. They taught you that. There's plenty of different things.
it
But go
depends
ahead.
on this depends on what side you're looking at. Slavery could be a good thing.
Wow.
You
Okay.
know,
That's a
I just
clip.
say it depends on what side you're looking at.
That's a clip.
I'm just saying Naruto is a
That's a
much
dangerous statement.
Yeah, that's a clip, buddy.
I'm gonna release a statement saying, sorry, I didn't mean that. Anyway, Naruto is a much better world than Star Wars. Star Wars only wants to stick to this small, tiny sliver of a universe called the Skywalkers. Let me know when they get away from the Republic and from the Empire and from the Skywalkers. Let me know when they get done with that. And when they get done with that, then I'll tap in more. Let me know.
Yeah, there's a great show called Andor. You should probably tap into that one. But
Which led all to the Skywalkers.
sure, but that had nothing to do with the Skywalkers, and there was no Skywalkers there.
So that means in the 70 years, you just told me only one show didn't have anything to do with Skywalkers?
I mean, yeah, they're a key part of it, right? That's a foundational family, right? It started with them, so yeah, they're remnants gonna be out there. But you talked about
Wow.
the dark
Wait,
times. You talk
yeah.
about the dark times. The dark times, yes, were 7, 8, 9, right? If you talk, it matters what, and that's the beautiful thing about Star Wars. You talk to somebody who's 50, they're gonna be like, "Oh, original trilogy." You talk to somebody who's 35, they're gonna be like, "Prequels, easy, right? Revenge of the Sith." You know what I mean? All that. Seeing Anakin truly turn, like for them, Hayden Christensen is the goat to them, right? But if you talk to someone a little later, this is the golden time. You get a Mandalorian, you get Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, Andor, right? You're getting all these different, you're getting visions. You get more Star Wars content than you ever got. You used to go decades without Star Wars content, and you would have to just read random books and be like, all right, is that canon?
They're giving a
Well, I
lot of
don't know if that's
content,
canon.
but is
Huh?
it quality? Is it quality? They're going quantity, but is it
Mandalorian
quality?
has been universally renowned, right? Andor, again, I spoke about numerous Emmy nominations and probably the show of the year for that year.
I mean, nominations don't
Ahsoka,
really matter unless you win.
is Ahsoka good? Did you say Ahsoka was good or no?
I mean, some
I
people
mean,
like
we check the
Ahsoka.
record. There's a rating
I
record.
enjoy. I would say I enjoyed Ahsoka. I enjoyed it. I would say I'll
Okay,
give you that.
the worst Star Wars show is potentially Obi-Wan, and that was still a solid show. Like it was still, they gave us a
So,
lot of great
what
moments.
about 7, 8, and 9?
Those movies, absolutely. That was the dark time. Absolutely. But we didn't have Filoni. They didn't let Filoni cook. They're letting Filoni cook. During that time, Filoni was on the animation side. Again, killing a whole different universe in animation. I mean, and he wasn't drawing stick figures. Like these are actually 3D. You know what I mean? Like he was doing his
They
thing over there
call them stick figures.
with that animation style. And they honestly changed the animation style. There's a like when you see that animation style, you think Star Wars. You don't think any other franchise. Where everybody else is doing the 3D in a totally different manner. So yeah, again, like they're letting that like back when that was 79, any director they could get, it was very kind of like what the MCU is now. Like directors leaving, going. Now we got people who are ahead of the company, like Filoni,
Let
gonna handle it.
let me know. Let me know the next time they get away from Skywalkers. We'll see that. That's crazy. Since the 70s, they only have one story that didn't involve the Skywalkers. Impressive. I
I
bet
mean, the
that hurt them too. They
Mandalorians.
was like, man, we need it.
Have you seen the Mandalorians?
The Mandalorian.
Yeah, the Mandalorians. Yeah,
You put an S on it.
yeah, the Mandalorian. Oh, I put the Mandalorians because it's literally more than one person. But yeah, Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah. I seen Mandalorian.
Okay, that didn't have anything to do with Skywalkers.
Oh, two things. My bad. Sorry. Two,
Andor.
2 and 40 years. We already mentioned Andor.
I mean, I guess Naruto. What else hasn't like? Did that all have to do with one character, or did it
Had to do with the entire world of ninja. But Naruto
of
changed.
ninjas or Naruto?
It's the same thing. He is a ninja.
Oh, but I thought like you're following one character. Doesn't that get boring? Don't you want to get out of it because you
The
want to
the
start
great thing
anew?
is the great thing is you're following his class really and his team. You're not just
Oh,
sticking with one. What's also great is that Naruto has become such a staple. He is considered part of the big three. Is there a big three in Star Wars? And what I mean is there is uh, an agreement that this show has become a staple in the anime community where it's regarded as the big three is high, where other shows repeat, the same processes that they took. I don't know what's the big three in Star Wars. I mean,
You can go Luke.
nothing.
You can go shit. You can go Luke, Anakin, Yoda. You can go fucking Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, Anakin. Like you can pick. It's kind of like playing with like the old school
Naruto
Lakers. Like you
changed
could
the
pick.
genre. Did Star Wars do that? Star Wars did that too. I use
Yeah,
sci-fi,
literally
but
started the
okay.
job. It's fine. Hey, good. I thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I give it to you. Good job. Good job.
In the
Spencer,
70s, by the
I
way.
would like to hear. I would like to hear your judgments now, Spencer.
Brandon, are you done?
I am done, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're done. You're done. I like saying that sometimes.
Okay. What an interesting uh what an interesting set of arguments that were given today. Um this should be fun. So, let's start with main character. Jordan, you chose Naruto. Brandon, you chose Obi-Wan. Jordan chose to mainly focus on the fact that Naruto basically should have been a prince and ended up being an orphan. That Naruto is funny and that he has a very heavy impact on not only his own village, but all of the surrounding villages and the ninja world at large. Um, that he overcame a lot of adversity and that he was able to essentially build friendships from scratch when he was hated by literally everyone that was there due to
His main
circumstances
character
that had
energy.
nothing to do with him. Brandon chose Obi-Wan, a man of honor. Uh, he killed Darth Vader or Darth Maul on more than one occasion. He had to essentially sacrifice his youth to be the teacher to the chosen one, which he had no desire to do for a couple reasons. One, nobody wants that tall task, and two, he really didn't like him as a person.
Talk about it.
Um, Brandon, you attacked Naruto's quote unquote low name recognition, and Jordan attacked the fact that uh, Obi-Wan couldn't get it done when it came to killing Anakin, and that kind of allowed Order 66 to happen, that allowed a galaxy to be enslaved, and that just caused all kinds of problems, is the argument that Jordan made. Now, I'll talk about it at the end. Um, I will give verdicts and then I will talk about the entire thing as a whole. So, uh, for main character, it's one for Jordan.
I
Jordan,
feel like you made his argument better for him than he did, but it's fine.
Those are exact words that I said. That is, those are my
that's
words, though.
that's not what.
Those
That's not all you
those are
said.
my word. Those are literally my words. It's cool, man.
those are the things. Those are the points he made. For side character, Brandon went with Han Solo. Jordan went with Sasuke. Brendan mentioned that Han Solo had no powers. The man was a hustler. He had the coolest ship ever. He was a regular guy in a world of space witches.
Mhm.
He had the Riz. He was able to play his role because while he has main character energy, he was a great support for the Chosen One. He had the pilot skills, he had a great relationship with Chewbacca, and he's the reason that there's any kind of cool factor in this galaxy far, far away. Like he brings culture in a very real way in a world that is dominated by nerds.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, Sasuke, he is the Vegeta of Naruto. He's got a tragic backstory. He's the sole survivor of his people. His brother slayed his whole clan. He's conflicted. He stands on business. I believe that was the quote.
Yeah.
Um,
Big,
and
you forgot
he's
big business. I put that in there too.
big business. My bad.
There you go.
Um, he's got hands. Now, um, the argument against Han was that he's a pedophile and a bad father. He's a cheapskate, he's a gang member, and that he got frozen in carbonite. Um, the argument against Sasuke was no name recognition.
Mm, wow.
And unfortunately, that's that's a poor argument against the man. And because Jordan was able to make a similar case as far as what cool factor he comes with, the riz that he has, and the support that he brings to the show, and there was no rebuttal to that. Point two goes to Jordan.
Should we just
Bold.
call it? Should we just
Bro.
call it?
It's
Too early. Okay, it's too
there's a
early.
lot of game left.
Not game left.
There's
Okay.
a lot of game left.
The fact that
So
I haven't watched that shit, you're lucky, George. You're
let, let's there's a lot
I
of game
mean,
left.
unfortunately, I had to watch some of this.
willingly.
Uh third category, we talked about villains. Um Naruto, the Naruto villain selected was Itachi, and the Star Wars villain selected was Grand Admiral Thrawn. Um, I love them both dearly, personally, but Itachi, cursed with being the best, ordered to kill his entire clan secretly. He died loving his brother. He basically he was asked to do an impossible thing, and he was still able to run his actual objective of making his brother basically that guy. And the way that he had to do that was, you know, just through a lot of terrible odds. Uh, Grand Admiral Thrawn, he appreciates his enemies. He worked his way to the top through racism, through his skill alone. Um, he's always one step ahead. He understands the perspectives of his enemies. The man is smooth. He is one of the most respected by Palpatine. Um, and they weren't able to defeat him, so they had to just get rid of him. Like they couldn't beat
Mm,
him, so they were like, we gotta send this guy somewhere. Like we can't.
mm,
He, what do we? He's too much.
mm,
We have to get rid of him. And so they had to come up with some shit to do that. Like he's one of the villains that made them like create some new bullshit to
mhm.
deal with him. Like that's how much he was. Um, the argument that was made against Itachi was that he is simply not on that level. And the argument that was made against Grand Admiral Thrawn was that he was beaten by children. Now, Brandon put together a very good case here. Um, Brandon was able to touch on a lot of points, and Brandon takes the point for villain. Um, because Brandon also debunked the argument by saying the fact that he was a child is not really a a point of conflict because we're talking about a world with space magic and prodigies. So that that doesn't really hold any, like, age doesn't mean much once you are no longer an actual baby, because even baby Yoda does shit.
Facts.
Um Story, Brandon selected Andor, and Jordan selected the Sasuke retrieval arc. In Andor, you have the mystical shit, but you also have the political shit. It was the beginning of the resistance. We saw Guerrera, we saw terrorists, we saw Cassian dealing with the Empire. He was an assassin. He helped the rebellion. He sacrificed himself. He was able to thwart the Empire without any force use at all. Um, this is how we got, like, these are the building blocks. This is the foundation for how we got to the Star Wars that everybody knows and loves. Without this, we don't have the space opera that is, um, one of the most popular franchises, period. In the Sasuke retrieval arc, we have eternal rivals. And Naruto looks up to this kid, and this kid is like, I'm really just trying to be the most powerful person in the world because I have to kill my brother. I'm not worried about that dude over there. So Sasuke is doing whatever he can to become as powerful as he can. So Naruto has to put together a squad to go get his homie. And he can't handle him. Like, homie done got big now. He big homie now, and it's not going well. He almost dies, and his entire squad almost dies because of the squad that they have to go up against. And we see some of, the best, arguably some of the best, fighting scenes and fight moments that anime has to offer. And the team does eventually triumph, just for Sasuke to be like, no, I am not going with you. I know you did all this work. I know that you thought the power of friendship was going to work. Today, it did not.
Mm.
And, that's very emotional. So, both of you pretty much had the same argument. Not quite, but Jordan argued that Andor was mediocre, not impressive, and nobody cares about it. And Brandon argued that the stakes were low and this, whole retrieval arc was just a tiny little nothing. Um, in this case, both arguments were good, but I'm going to have to go with Brandon.
Let's
Uh,
go.
Bro,
he,
Spencer did that on purpose.
I, here's the thing. Um, you both chose one story, and Brandon chose the story that, because not Brandon, he went in an interesting direction because he you both had everything in the world at your disposal. And Brandon decided to go with the boots to the ground operation
Hmm.
that led to what is known as the greatest sci-fi IP on Earth, honestly. As far as success, as far as fan base, yeah, like there's no arguing that. And the fact that they were able to tie it all together with regular ass humans in this world is quite a feat. And Brandon points to that. Like, that's not something that I would have thought about just as a person, but Brandon made that argument. And so the Sasuke retrieval arc, yes, it was great, but Brandon also made the argument that it was low stakes, and you weren't really able to rebut that.
Mm.
It's not all. It's not always about the big stakes. The
That's
little stakes
true.
matter too.
But you tried to argue that Andor was mediocre, that nobody cares about the politics, that it was just okay, and Brandon put that in the dirt. Like, that's that's the problem you're looking at, is that you said,
Bro, Brandon
"Oh,
didn't grow
you
up.
you said that shit didn't matter," and Brandon was like, "Yes, it did. Here's why."
Yeah,
Nah,
nice.
like I said,
So,
little stakes matter. So go ahead.
um, and that brings us to the fifth and final category, which is the world. So right now, we have 2 points each, and Jordan
Come on,
talks
Spencer.
about Jordan talks about the ninja world. How chakra can be manipulated, how there is a power scaling, how there are Jinchuriki and tailed beasts, how these chakras can be manipulated into elemental attacks. We have the seven great swordsmen. We have meteors that can be dropped from the sky, and we talk about the fact that this show crosses generation. So it goes from one generation of ninja to the next generation of ninja. We have Brandon discussing Star Wars, how it is multi-generational in real life.
Mm.
how we have multiple planets, we have the world between worlds, we have brand new galaxies, we have Mandalore. They jumped into anime just for a second, just took a little dip in there,
Mm.
and then they were like, we can do all of it, everything. Um, it is the mecca of world building. It is one of the most successful franchises that we have. And it was built from very simple tech. Like Brandon mentions that one of the greatest franchises of all time was built at a cave with a
Mm.
bunch of scraps. Um, and that Star Wars is the model for everything. Like Star Wars is used as the building blocks to build just about everything that has, happened henceforth. The argument that was made against Naruto is that it's just a little tiny show. And the argument that was made against Star Wars was that a lot of people hate the prequels and the sequels. So, as far as arguments made for the world, a better argument was made for Star Wars.
Let's go.
That's crazy.
Let's
No, it's not.
go.
I got
Um,
robbed on one of these
did you?
categories, but I did.
Um, because again, the reason we're here is for the arguments that were presented. Now, both of you were at some kind of disadvantage. Brandon's disadvantage was the fact that he was not really able to play defense because he is not familiar with Naruto, which is why a lot of Brandon's rebuttals were, "Oh, your show is just so little and cute." Like
Oh,
that
facts.
was that was all the rebuttal Brandon had, generally speaking. Um, Jordan was at a disadvantage in that Star Wars has been around much longer and has a much more robust body of content to refer to. Now, Naruto does have a very vast, expansive world that does cross multiple generations. It's got a bunch of additional content as far as light novels and manga material. It's got random movies that aren't really canon. Um, it's got three shows, but those three shows have an absurd number of episodes. Brandon made the comment that like you could power through that in a month. No, you can't. You can't. It's extensive how much there is. Um, and it crosses again multiple generations within the show. Like there's a lot there.
Mm.
And um I think that, there were some potential missed opportunities, but that's okay. The arguments that were made are the arguments that were made. And so
I, I'm upset about main character because I feel like I took a chance when I should have just took a layup.
that
But
was
I felt the same thing about villain. I could have I should have went with Madara, but I went Itachi. I went for emotion.
well, and so here's the thing. Um Brandon, main character was going to be hard for you because Jordan would have been able to make an argument against whoever you picked. And you weren't really able to say much about Naruto. And again, that's the disadvantage you had
mm-hmm.
was
Should
the
did your
fact
work.
that
Should did your
the
job.
You lucky. You lucky I had none because it would have been 5 on sweet.
Should have been watching YouTube videos.
so that's and that's the thing. That's why this was set up this way, because I'm sure there are a lot of people who are going to be like, this is not a fair compare, like what are we doing here? But that's why I chose these two things for you two to argue, because I knew that Jordan did have some knowledge in Star Wars and I know what happened last time, so giving Jordan some
And they get a
Crazy.
handicap.
yeah
It's
I
crazy.
I mean that's
No,
to
that's
to
crazy.
put it simply, that's what this
To
kind
be
of was.
fair, I hadn't watched any Naruto since 2017. I'm gonna
And
ask you, Spencer,
Jordan, you were just
who
doing
would you
some
have picked?
shenanigans in the court.
Well, you have to. You have to. That I feel like that's my real job is to throw the shenanigans out there. who would you have picked for like each category on like Star Wars and each one of us? Have you thought about that?
A little bit.
If you were in our situation, who would you have picked?
For main character, I would have gone with Naruto. Um, and I would have hit on a lot of the same points. The fact that he was basically born into royalty just to be thrown into the garbage. The fact that his father said to Saratobi, like, "Hey, take care of my boy," and he put him in an apartment alone to raise himself. The entire village hated him. Like everybody. He was shunned. He was treated like shit. And he was able to power through that. He was able to, get pretty far with, hard work because starting in the show, everybody looked at him. They were like, this fucking kid, like, um, we see a lot of growth from him. We see him go from this, plucky, annoying kid to becoming the most powerful person in the village to, the president, because that was his goal. He met his goal. Like he said, I will be the Hokage, and that's what he did. We also see him positively influence the lives of multiple people across this world. We see him um, you know, change people, like people who have already given up on everything. Using Gara just as an example, Gara hated everyone because Gara and Naruto had very similar upbringings. They both had a tailed beast put inside of them against their will as babies. The entire village hated them both. They both came from the president of the day. And the problem is, Gara didn't have the luxury of making friends. Like, Gara was a true introvert. Gara couldn't sleep because if he went to sleep, the beast inside of him would just start rampaging. And Gara was sent to the Leaf Village to destroy it. And Naruto, through the power of friendship, uh, he rebuilt this person's entire psyche. Like he turned Gara into the best president that that village has ever seen. He was able to, get through to him. And that's just one example of somebody that Naruto's influence and positive energy actually worked on. Like he turned this super emo
You
into
can
a
tell
man of the
Spencer's
people.
passionate about. You can tell Spencer's passionate about Naruto, huh? So you supposed to just give us just a list of who you would have picked, and
Yeah,
My bad.
yeah,
Okay. My bad.
uh,
For Star Wars, I think Luke's the easy answer,
yeah, yeah.
but I would have gone with Anakin.
Yeah,
me too.
I was gonna say I made a late audible. It was too late. I was like, I'm gonna go Darth Vader for villain because that's an easy layup. But then I
I
was
thought you
like,
were going Darth Maul or Darth Vader, one of those.
Grand
No,
Admiral.
Grand Admiral Thrawn was the right answer because that's what I would have
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
I would have
exactly.
absolutely gone with Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah, he's a
Um,
better story.
yeah, so I would have gone with Anakin for main character
Yeah,
because
I agree.
you can speak to his entire life and his entire arc
Yeah, that's true.
and how that's character.
Yeah, it's facts.
Um, for side character, um, I probably for side character there are a lot of options. I might have gone with Rock Lee or Might Guy.
Kakashi. Oh,
I do love
I
Kakashi.
thought about going Kakashi. Yeah, I thought about going Kakashi.
Kakashi would have been a good way to go, but I would have probably gone with Might Guy and I would have used Kakashi as a point for Might Guy.
Gotcha. What about Star
Um
Wars?
for Star Wars for side characters, probably Ahsoka
Okay,
is
I
where I
like
would
it.
have gone.
Mm,
For villain, Grand Admiral Thrawn.
yes, yes,
Like yeah, like I when you said it, I was like, I think you locked it in. As long as he argues well, we're locked in.
yeah.
Um, and for villain, I think I would have gone with Itachi. And so yeah, y'all made the
At
right
first, I thought
choice.
about going with Pain. I thought about going with Pain at first.
Pain would have been a good one too, because he flattened the village.
Yeah,
Like that's yeah, no, nobody's really done that.
yeah.
But yeah, I would have gone with Itachi, and I'll I'll keep it tight. Yeah, like he was a prodigy and they told him to slaughter his entire village and he played the long game with his brother. Like Itachi is the reason that Sasuke is worth talking about because I am not a fan of Sasuke. Um
Mm.
I kind of hate that dude. Like
He's a little emo kid. I agree.
yeah, like I'm not a fan. But Itachi's the reason that Sasuke is one of the most powerful people in the show. Like Itachi built him from the ground. Itachi gave him the motivation that he needed. He did all that. Like if it weren't for Itachi, nobody would care about Sasuke. Like Itachi himself would have just overshadowed him. He wouldn't be relevant. Um
Hmm.
so I'll keep it there because I could keep going. For stories, I think I would have just talked more broadly.
Yeah,
Because Brandon told one story, I was like,
Yeah.
I'll do one story as well.
But if
yeah.
I was but if I was gonna pick a story, then um I would have probably gone with Order 66 and Ramifications.
Yeah. So,
And I probably would have gone with the Great Ninja War.
I thought about doing Jiraiya story,
Driver, yeah.
the
And
death of
and
that.
Naruto's got a lot of options.
Yeah,
Um and for world, yeah. Um I would have talked more about um the other villages that Naruto has and the history of how the villages came to be. I would have spent a little bit of time on the tailed beasts. But you did touch on chakra and it being manipulated. And then you talked about a couple of the things that can do. But I would have gone into whatever the eye jutsus are called and
oh, I completely forgot about those. Yeah.
yeah and how there's yeah I would have just expanded a little bit more and then yeah Brandon did what I would have done like talking about how Star Wars is a guidebook for science fiction today like if it weren't for Star Wars there's a lot we don't have.
thanks.
Star Wars is what I think that Star Wars is probably the original nerds are cool thing.
Mm,
Like it's the first thing that um nerds were that people were able it's the first nerdy thing people were able to get into and it not be an issue. Like
right.
it's the first crossover
First cool
nerd
nerdy thing.
property.
Yeah,
Um so yeah, like because it's one of the only things that like you could have a bunch of random items and paraphernalia and it's not weird
right.
or nobody's looking at you funny or talking about you. It's Star Wars is the OG. And oh and yeah and all of the stuff in it of course that you mentioned as far as world building like it's one of the best because it in a galaxy far, far away, and Brandon was able to name specific planets and specific places where stuff is happening. And that's important because Brandon didn't even have to talk about the Force, and the Force is its own like piece of it that you can bring up. So
Cute little chakra or whatever the hell you talked about.
no, and that's the thing. Like if if one of you had gone in the other direction because Jordan talked about chakras, but didn't really talk about the rest of the world. You talked about the world itself, but didn't really talk about the force. And
Yeah,
so, if either of you had brought the other thing in, then it could have swayed the argument.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it. Well, Jordan, hey,
Well,
good competition. I got a nail biter out of there. Um,
until next time, I will grant you, this victory. You did a great job. But Spencer's opinion is not the only one that matters. We have the people's opinion.
Facts.
So if people would like to let us know, about who you think won the debate, Feel free to stop by any one of our social medias: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Leave a comment. Let us know what you felt about our arguments put up, and who do you think won, and was his judgment correct? Let us know. So until then, we're never duplicated.
Always appreciate it.
And forever melanated.